dreams before you even start. Now is the perfect time to reach your goals and succeed. So I hope that will ring through as, like, in your mind as I speak. So good evening everyone, my name is Kayisha and I'd like to say thank you to Deborah and Charmaine for inviting me to speak today. I hope you're all well and you've had a lovely Wednesday so far. And I'll get straight into it. The topic of my speech is It's Never Too Late. Because of that, I have structured the speech in a chronological order in the hope that it will confirm that age is just a number and it is never too late. So let's start from the beginning. I was born and raised in London in February of 1990. I went to an all-girls high school in Ealing and I passed my GCSEs and my A-level with flying colours. I started preparing to go to university in 2009. But things changed and instead I moved over to Florida in America. I was 19 years old, living in America, and I had a long list of things that I wanted to achieve in life, especially because I wasn't going to university, so the things that I was passionate about became my focus. And I took out my BlackBerry smartphone and I wrote a list called My Life and Beyond on a notes app. And before I share the contents of the list, I just want to add that creating this list was like me writing it down and making it plain, and it was so impactful for me. The list has been an anchor in my life. It has been the thing that has helped me to stay focused on my goals. It gave me something to commit to, and it held me accountable to what I said I wanted to achieve. No matter what was going on around me or inside of me, I can say, because I suffer with eczema and it's been a challenge for the past 5 years, but regardless of what has been going on my skin or in the world, I've stayed focused on my goals, and that was all because I wrote it down in 2009. So the list started with published books to inspire, smart sunglasses line, travel as a photographer, and then I had things like a hot air balloon ride, a helicopter ride, jet ski, and swim with dolphins. So I finally did the helicopter ride on my 35th birthday in February at the start of the year, and it was amazing. So I ended up waiting that long, but it was absolutely worth the wait to see Florida from that high and to realise that I'd come full circle because the list started in Florida. So at 19, whilst I was in Florida, I started with what I could. I had a compact camera because I've always loved taking photos. As a child, I took photos of my shoes, when my hair was done, of my family, birds, all sorts of things. And my parents got me a compact camera, so I had that, and I started to learn photography. I also met a photographer from Amsterdam whilst he was in Florida, and I learned about on-location photo shoots from him. I was able to shadow him during the photo shoot and learn his techniques, and that really set a fire inside of me. So when I did come back to England, I moved to Nottingham, and I went to South Notts College, and I did a photography digital capture course, and then I launched my business, Heavily Captured Beauty Photography. So PCB photography is 14 years old now, and I have travelled, I've done weddings, I've done fashion shows, baby showers, newborn photo shoots, product photography, and passport photos. And because of that, I've been able to tick something off that list that I created in 2009. Start a YouTube channel was not on my to-do list, but in 2015, I started to produce weekly videos and vlogs for a YouTube channel called Sophisticated K. I was so nervous to be in front of the camera because as a photographer I was always behind the camera, but my audience loved the positive content that I was producing, healthy eating, natural hair, fashion, family days out and things like that. And so it's now been 10 years since I've been doing that, producing a weekly video, and it inspires people, it uplifts them, it gives them a young black person who's not provocative and promiscuous, and I show family content and things like that, and when I travel, and my audience loves it. I've changed the name to UK London, but it's still the same content that blends faith, family and fun. So at the end of 2009, I started writing a book. It was a memoir, or it is a memoir. I finished it, but I haven't published that book. I was so adamant that I wanted to publish books to inspire people that in 2016, I sat down and started writing my first published book, which is called Ounce of Faith and Inspiration. And when I published that book, I literally felt like I was in a whirlwind because everything just changed immediately. I started doing public speaking, book signings, book readings. I was interviewed on the radio. I was interviewed on international television when I was in Florida one year. And people started to see me as an expert in faith and inspiration, like almost immediately, but I studied the Bible so much to put the faith into the book. I went through all of my notes and my post-it notes, my booklets and things like that to get all the quotes and things that I had written down to fill it with all the inspiration. And then before I knew it, I had published Quotes of Faith and Inspiration, Measures of Purpose in Life, the black and white edition of Ounce of Faith and Inspiration, Mum and Dad, We Met Were Lovers, which is my children's book that came out on Valentine's Day of 2019. And that allowed me to take something else off the list. But my author journey wasn't finished there because I lost my little sister in August of 2015. And she was a poet, an artist, singer. She was so creative, a fashion designer. She was forward-thinking, innovative, just everything in the little tiny person. And I published a book to celebrate her 30th birthday. She left behind so much things that I felt like the world needed to be inspired by and to be uplifted by. So I collated a lot of her work and invited friends and family from all over the world to contribute their poetry and their stories of her and certain things that they could say that she inspired and put it into this book. So it's kind of like a, what do I call it? It's like an anthology. The book is called Thoughts of a Chaotic Figurative Fiery Mind because she used that quote on all of her social media posts, and it was released on December 8th, 2023, so 10 days before her 30th birthday in heaven. And it opened the door, like I said, for others to have their works published. So I was really impressed by that, to give people a platform to share their work. As well as that, each year, so it's been 2 years now since it's been out, I have donated all of the proceeds to Starlight as a charity that helped to bring one of my sister's dreams to reality. So we're paying back for all what they did for her. And so, although I had already ticked off become an author and inspire people through my works, that tick increased in size because now that book had brought my sister's dream to fruition, and it's added to her legacy and how she's contributed to the world, even though it's posthumous basically, but it's impacted people in a big way. In 2019, I started to build Spark Sunglasses. So I was doing agency work, and because I was bi-coastal, I used to spend about 6 months in Florida, come back here, do a 6-month agency job, and then go back. And so my last agency job was coming to an end, and I felt like it was time for me to focus on building this brand that I had dreamt of when I was 19. So I started saving money, and I put money aside for my stock. When I finished working on that job, I went back to Florida, so I had the stock sent to me in Florida. I got my domain name, I built the website, I started promoting on social media with a countdown to the release of this business. And then I launched it on May 19th, 2019. It was 10 years, like I said, since I had written it down in my BlackBerry, also whilst I was in Florida, so that was another full circle moment, going back there and releasing the brand. But I waited 10 years, and that allowed me to grow as a person, to be financially able to launch this business and to develop it in the way that it has over the past even 6 years. And now it's doing things beyond my wildest dreams. So I'm so grateful that I did wait that period of time, because I could have rushed into it and it may not have been right. But since 2019, I have built the brand into something amazing, and you'll be able to see some of the glasses now. I work with a jewellery designer who I created a sterling silver S with, so it honours my little sister, and it makes the glasses signature, it makes them more valuable, and it's a staple. So anytime anyone sees the S on the side of these sunglasses, they know that it relates to Spark, so it's very valuable. I recently celebrated the 6th anniversary, and sometimes I can't believe that it's been 6 years. I like to celebrate milestones. As you can see, I know when things have happened, and dates are very important to me. So I celebrated 6 years back in May, and it's just a blessing to be able to celebrate that it's come to fruition, and I'm encouraging people to love and protect their eyes, because sunglasses are not just a fashion statement, it's eye care, and our vision is important, our eyes are invaluable. So that was another thing that I could tick off the list. So this calling, all the things that I do, it's not easy, but it's absolutely worth it, because I can see the impact that the things that I'm doing are having on people. Through my photography, I have captured life, and I've allowed people to freeze moments and look back on it, to cherish the growth in life. Through my books, I uplift and inspire both young and old. Through YouTube, I encourage and entertain people on a weekly basis. And through my sunglasses, I educate and encourage people to love and protect their eyes. But I also dress faces all over the world, because when you put on a pair of sunglasses, it really does boost your confidence. It helps you to accentuate the features on your face and to add to your outfit. It's like the cherry on top. So I really love that I've been able to accomplish all these things through my brand and my businesses. And now that you know all of that, I want to confirm that you have a lot to give. So I'm giving back to the world every day, everything that I do, but you have a lot to give as well. Don't think about your age, don't think about your location. All you need is to pinpoint what your purpose is and assert yourself. So, like I said before, I wrote down the things that I wanted to accomplish. I worked out what my purpose was and what my goal was, and I focused on those things one by one. I couldn't have done it all at one time, because that would have just been overwhelming. It was bit by bit, and the right time to do each of them finally came. And I want to just confirm that it's your time to shine. So step into your purpose and be the light that the world needs. It is never too late, so don't postpone your joy and your success, because Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So as I mentioned earlier, my list, which is similar to a vision board, it was just digital and on my BlackBerry at the time, it kept me anchored and it gave me a guide, and I was able to flourish because I had written that down, and I gave myself something to vision as I progressed in life. So if you don't try now, you will never know. So your talents and your abilities can take you far, but if you don't make the first move, then you'll never know what the possibilities will be. And also you need to pair it with the correct mindset, because what's in your mind is literally where you go. If you think negative, you'll do negative things. If you think positive, you'll do positive things. So you have to have the right mindset. No one's saying that it will always be easy, but if you think right, you'll elevate yourself, and if you're confident, if you have unshakable confidence, you will be a firm believer in yourself, and you'll know that you can fulfill your potential. So don't waste any more time not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I'll say it again, it is never too late. Time is of the essence. So go after your dreams and never be afraid to promote yourself. I was nervous about putting my name to Sparks at first, but I realized that if I put a lamp on, I don't turn it on and put it in the cupboard, the lamp is meant to shine. So I have so much passion and so much love for sunglasses. There's no way that I could shrink behind closed doors and promote the brand and let my passion and my character and my heart elevate it to where it's meant to be if I stay behind closed doors. So promote yourself and look at yourself as a light because you're meant to shine. And age is just a number. So if you don't try now, at whatever age you are, like I said, I just turned 35 in February, but I still know that there's so much more ahead. So only God knows what else, because I have ticked off so much things off the list, but there's more. So no matter what age you are, go after your dreams. And if you don't try now, then you'll just continue to procrastinate and postpone. So take the leap of faith and even take the first step, and you never know what will happen. Begin working on the project that you believe in. Publish the book, become an author, train to be a hairdresser, a fashion designer, a chef, an opera singer. It doesn't matter what it is, because if it's in your heart and you enjoy doing it, take it to the big stage. You can do it, you just have to believe in yourself. Start the ministry, start the non-profit, just go for it, you can do it. Dedicate time and focus, and let go of things that might be holding you back. Let go of the things that are distractions, because we all have them, but we have to decide when it's finally time to put down those big heavy bags that are holding us back. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's hobbies, sometimes it's things that we shouldn't be giving so much of our time to, because then we can't focus on what we really are meant to be doing. And like I said, have laser beam focus on the project or your goal, and you will succeed. Just because you're an administrator or a teacher, a cleaner or a chef doesn't mean you can't also be an entrepreneur, so go after your dreams. And I have to repeat this quote, it's one of my favorites from one of my books. Don't give up on your dreams before you even start. Now is the perfect time to reach your goals and succeed. Opening the floor for a Q&A session. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
What would you say is your biggest achievement?
I think these two here, publishing books that have been read all over the world. I think my furthest reader is in Australia. The person has a Kindle, so every now and then I get the royalties because they read on the Kindle, and I can see that it happened in Australia. So that is one of my greatest accomplishments, because I sat down, let's say, for Ounce of Faith and Inspiration, and worked for weeks and weeks and weeks on this book that now, almost 10 years later, is being read all over the world. And it literally answered the dream. I will one day publish the book that I wrote first. It's just very sentimental to me now that I've lost my little sister, because moments that I shared with her are in the book. So I've kind of kept it close instead of sharing it. But being able to release a book for children, I promised my goddaughter that I would write a book that she could see herself in. I did the same for my nephew, and so the book has twins, boy and girl twins, so fraternal twins, and they go on a journey to find love on their first day of high school. So I allowed my goddaughter and my nephew to see themselves in a publication, because we need that as young black boys and girls, to be able to see ourselves in a positive way in publications and in TV programs and movies and things. So when I promise something, I have to keep to my word, and I did that for my nephew and my goddaughter. Also, to be a young person and sharing the word of God and inspiration and things that are uplifting for people, finding your purpose and things like that, to put that in books, to help people to get on the right track in life. So I really feel like my books are one of my greatest accomplishments, and I do hope that they will have a long life, so my children hopefully in the future can benefit from the financial gains. I've made it a thing to not spend any of the royalties, so that my children, when I do have, because I do want to be a mum one day, can benefit from the royalties of the work that I did. So 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and then my sister's book, it all goes to charity. But if my children can benefit from the work that I did in those years, whenever they come, God knows, then I've done something, because we are told to leave an inheritance for our children and our children's children. So that's part of the plan there. But then in regards to Sparks, I feel like because it was 10 years, I could have given up on that dream, but I didn't. And initially I was selling sunglasses that were not branded. I was buying them from a wholesaler. But in 2023, I said it's time for me to customize and design and put my own touch on these sunglasses. And so I work with a manufacturer and the jewellery designer who has made the S, and the sterling silver S is embossed on the sunglasses. So I have exclusive pairs. I wanted to make sure that the sunglasses are affordable for all people, so because I see them as eye care and not just fashion, so there are a range that is more affordable, and then there's the ones that have the sterling silver, which are more pricey because it is sterling silver. And so I'm just so grateful that I didn't lose the passion, even though it was 10 years, and that I've been able to, like I said, encourage people to love their eyes, protect their eyes, go out and enjoy the sun, but do it safely. And I live in my dream whenever I release a new collection. There's 4 collections here. Also, all natural sunglasses cleaner that I produced. It's reduced alcohol, it has peppermint fragrance, and I did that because I wear glasses. They are for astigmatism, so I just need more light. And I always used to have sprays or wipes that smell horrendous, and so I always wanted to produce something that had a lovely fragrance but was also reduced alcohol, and so I did that and released that spray in 2022, I think it was now. And so it's just the fact that I've seen my dreams come true, and I'm just grateful for that. So yeah, I'd say those are my biggest accomplishments.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. You've done an awesome job, and thank you for sharing that with us. And I just wanted to ask you, your sunglasses, are you able to purchase the frame glass for those that have got like prescription eye care and things like that, or does it have to be purchased as a whole unit?
So I have partnered with Lensology. They are a lab in Watford, and they have some of my stock, so you can put your prescription in the sunglasses. So they will take out the normal sunglasses lens and put your prescription in them and send it to you.
Okay, that's a good option to know.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hi.
To me, you're very inspiring. I thought he was a lot younger. And you said,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, with all the different projects that you've got going on, how do you manage your social media presence and Twitter, and where do you sell on?
So my website is hosted by Wix, and I do social media. Sometimes I wonder how I do it all myself as well, especially because I also have a full-time job. I work at NTU, and it's not easy. But I'm so committed, so I get up in the morning at about 6:37 most days, unless I'm exhausted and my alarm wakes me up at 8 o'clock. And I open my laptop. If I haven't designed something for the day, I literally design something really quickly, whether it's on Canva, which is quite quick, or my design program. And I try to put something out before I start my job for NTU. I try to always have a bit of an order to follow. So at the moment, I'm promoting the Takeoff collection, which are these ones at the top, so there's 6. I've made it so that I focus on one pair for a few days. So in my mind, I know what's coming next, because previously I've kind of gone all over the place. So red, black, orange, blue, and then it gets a bit chaotic. But in my mind, now I know the next thing that I'll focus on will be that pair, the next one will be that pair. Also, I do have a few different accounts because I don't want the sunglasses to be on the same page that I promote my books on. I do mix and match sometimes, but Sparks has its own account, Kayisha Online has its own account, and that kind of mixes because I look at it as an umbrella where I can promote all things Kayisha, which is what it really is, Kayisha, all things Kayisha. And then my YouTube has another account, so I know where I'm putting things, but really it is just dedicating specific time. So when I finish NTU work, I literally get back on my laptop, edit a video, edit reels, put something on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, it's not Twitter anymore, it's X, LinkedIn. Sometimes it's the same thing, sometimes it's not, just because of the different type of platforms. Even TikTok. So just making sure that there's a lot of reach, but knowing what's appropriate for the different platforms. And just having a plan, basically. I do have some captions that are already like organized, so I can just pull in a caption if I can't think, because sometimes people like reading lengthy captions and sometimes want something really short. So it just depends, really. But I try to make life easier for myself because I do juggle quite a lot. So just stay organized. I think organization is the most important thing, otherwise you go crazy.
I think for you, sunglasses, got your books, etc. Is there anything else you could move into and that line of looking to do?
So I think my main focus is building Sparks right now. There's times that I've kind of wanted to slow down my YouTube channel because editing videos every week takes time away from things I could be doing to further and scale this brand. But at the moment, I don't want to take on too much because then you do like start to slack in certain areas. So you do have to weigh up the positives of taking on another ball, and you don't want to drop something. So I think my main focus is lifelong success for my books and building the Sparks brand, because I've invested so much time, money, effort, sleepless nights and things to building it to where it is now. And I've got so much ideas for it. I'm currently creating a new collection now for the end of summer. End of summer, going into autumn. So yeah, my hands are very, very full at the moment with what I do.
Do you have any famous people who have bought your products?
Yes, so I have Phoebe One, who is a radio personality. Have you ever heard of Choice FM? Yeah, so Choice FM, although I think it might have been about 10 years now since they stopped broadcasting, but Phoebe One, I love her. My sister and I used to go to the radio station in London, and we knew quite a lot of the DJs, Richard Blackwood and Kat and those lot. So yeah, she's one of my sunglasses. Michelle Girl, singer, as well as Sparks. Who else? Might just be those two at the moment. But I am trying to get into publication so that I can extend the reach. And I work with influencers, so they are like famous to some people. Yeah. Recently, there's a dad who wakes up his children with a rap or do you know who it is? Yeah, Richie. Yeah, so he wakes up his children with a rap inspired by, let's say, did he do Bridget Banton? He did a few reggae artists recently, and so he did a reel for me the other day. He went to an all-white party, so he wore this pair, and that was funny. He told himself to go and cream his right leg, and I'm like, okay, just any random things. But yeah, I've also had influences in America that I've worked with to create content, and yeah, it's nice. I like to give people opportunities to be creative, and I just give them a little bit of a brief, and they do what they want, and it turns out nice. It's nice to give people that creative control, but yeah, hopefully more celebrities in the future. Yeah.
What about the pilot when we went to America?
Pilots, yeah. So because I released the Takeoff collection, which is all aviators, I felt like because it was my first time getting back on a plane since 2019 when I came back from Florida and COVID happened and all of that, I decided to give sunglasses to my pilots. There's always a co-pilot as well, so there were 2 each time I flew, so they have a bag. And they said it was the best gift they've ever been given, because pilots do get gifts, but one of them said it was just so cool for me to come and give them a gift, and the one on the way back to London, he just couldn't believe it. So I've got a pilot wearing that one, and that one. Unfortunately, the other pilot on my way back left before I even got down to the cockpit, so only 3 of them got it, but yeah, they really appreciated that, so yeah. Anything else?
Well, I hope you give yourself a lot of self-praise, because you do make yourself quite easy. I know it's hard, because both my sons, well, I encourage them to try and do what you're doing, one's a bit more successful than the others you are, and it's hard. And because I live with them, they inspire me. I'm way older, and it's hard work because I'm not gentle with social media. I kind of get it now, but yeah, you've got to do it, you know what you're doing, because I know you know what, because they do it.
Yeah.
And what somebody asked you about the influencers, yeah, my son goes to Formula One, he'll take snaps, he'll do this. It is hard work in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good on you.
Thank you. Like I said before, I like to celebrate milestones, so I think that's important because I get to look back on the year that's just gone and see how much I have accomplished, but also use it to inspire and encourage others. So I literally film everything so that content can go out and people can see that these are the things that I am doing, and know that they can do it too, because like you said, it is difficult, but people are doing it. And if I can share to encourage someone else, then at least I know that I'm not selfish, I'm not gatekeeping the information, I can share. So in March, I did a guest lecture at NTU, and it was simply because I've been sharing my journey as an entrepreneur, and the lecturer saw and said, well, you could come and speak to our students and show them how you do things behind the scenes of your brand. And yeah, I never would have thought I'd be given a lecture, simply because I didn't go to university. I changed my mind and went to Florida instead. But here I am working at a university, and now I've given a lecture. So I kind of can't believe that it happened, but at the end of the day, I have worked really hard to be able to share and inspire and educate. So I'm grateful for those kind of opportunities to give back.
Yeah, very inspiring, especially for somebody as young as you are. My question is, I think you mentioned you were born in London,
Yes.
and you then moved to America. But back in Nottingham,
Yeah.
what was the reason? Because I'm sure the brand that you've got is global, so you could really work anywhere. So what was the reason for choosing Nottingham?
So when my mum came from Jamaica, she moved to Nottingham, and then had me and my sisters in London, or some of my sisters in London. And so when she came to Nottingham and I was leaving America, I said I wanted to come to where my mum was. I was still bi-coastal for about 8 years. So, like I said, I did agency work and I'd be here during a job and then go back to America. But I finally felt like I needed to be stable, especially when COVID took place, and everyone was still anyway. So, so I just settled here in Nottingham, and that's been the past 5 years that I've had the permanent role at NTU, and just really focused on this.
What milestone you want to get to hand
Oh, that's a tricky one. And I just had a meeting with my manager, and she's like, "Oh, will we be here in 10 years?" And I'm like, "No." So So my uncle has told me that I'm going to be a millionaire. So I'll take that. I'll take millionaire status in order for me to not feel like I have to have a 9 to 5 in order to be financially stable. Just because of the way the world is, we don't know what's going to happen, and I do know that the Bible does say we have to have several streams of income, just because we don't know what's going to happen. So that's why I have not just given up on my 9 to 5, because stability is important.
I think maybe that should be one of your milestones, actually, to be next year.
I can write it down. I do. I guess we all understand being on the clock since we're women. So I do feel like I'm on the clock since I haven't had children yet. So I guess if I write that one down, then it's got to happen, hasn't it? Because that's what writing it down does. And then, yeah, maybe I won't be working a 9 to 5 next year. We shall see.
We'll have you back next year. Your millions.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
That is such a good question because, okay, we're on the 1st of July now, but at the start of June I said I have to start eating earlier and going to sleep earlier. And I think I've been successful a few times, but I need to be more, Kayisha, eat dinner at 7 or something like that, and then go to sleep at 10. My Fitbit says it's time to wind down at 10. Sometimes at 10, I'm just like going to get dinner. So, and when I see it, I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm definitely not going to be sleeping in an hour, but I do have really good sleeps, aside from when my eczema bothers me. So I think because I am so busy during the day, when I am sleeping, I'm in a deep sleep. I can't hear anything. I'm definitely having a good sleep, but I do need to go to sleep earlier. So I maybe take naps. Maybe at the weekend take a nap or something, but yeah, I do have good sleeps, it's just I don't go to sleep early.
Any other questions? You please put your hands together.